Well, hello, boys and girls. Today's discussion, mental health issues with doobie snacks. Half of it, probably, will be played by my own little character, Ginger Zee. Because today, we're going to be talking about the climate. We're going to be talking about Mother Nature and how bad things have gotten. I call it FTW, basically F the world, because that's what it's come down to. It's really almost too late to save us. The reason I say that is because with the climate being the way it is, tonight's issue is mental health, figuring out and adjusting to what's going on the outside world. Now, I'm going to give it over to Ginger here shortly, and she'll be able to explain to you what's going on. But, on a side note, the world ended basically when we industrialized it. What I mean by that is back in the day when we started burning the coal in an industrialized form. In other words, all the factories that we were building, all these engines and cars and planes and everything that we had to burn, it's all simply that the issues of stripping the planet of its natural resources. That's the key to this one. Because, all in all, when we started taking acres and acres of trees just in order to deal with making paper. Okay, I understand that. And at that time, we needed to. And a lot of companies, they replanted. But when you start taking thousands of acres of rainforest, which is something we need to filter out the carbons that we keep putting into the air. Well, we're taking away the earth, the filter. So, with that being done, and as we get it stronger with all these new things that we're building, we're still adding all this into the atmosphere. And now the atmosphere is blocking us from radiation from the sun. It gives us our life. It keeps the oxygen basically in a bubble for us to breathe. Now, once we start putting all these carbons in the air, it starts eating away at the layers of the atmosphere. And we start getting more and more from the outside universe. We start getting more radiation. We start getting more of these different kind of rays emanating from different areas of the universe. We're getting more comets. We're getting more asteroids. The thing with the atmosphere is quite important because it's also trapping in all of these air chemicals. And as time progresses and the atmosphere is being eaten away, we're trapping more and more of these carbons, and we're taking away the filters. So our climate is changing rapidly. Fresh water is being introduced into a saltwater form, which our weather comes from the ocean. Okay, basically, we're getting here on the East Coast the Atlantic Ocean's temperament. Okay, so all this fresh water is being introduced into this cycle. As this occurs, so does the weather. It changes. So now, not only are the caps melting down, we're also melting down the permafrost. The permafrost is what, 10,000 years old? If we melted down to a level where we're having corpses show up from 10,000 years, 12,000 years, we have no idea what diseases were there 10,000 years ago. So everything that was trapped in that ice is going to come out. Now, the fresh water that is being produced that is not going into the ocean, that water is going into the fresh water, I would say, caverns underneath the ground, where we at one point get water. It is a natural water source. And if we're not getting water from it, something is. Fresh water is a major commodity on this planet, and it's depleting. But if it is going into those freshwater tables, you have 10,000-year-old water. Okay? It's going through the Earth's natural filter system. But you still do not know what they had back 10,000, 12,000 years ago. Okay? So you have all this going on. Fresh water, salt water, the Earth, climate. We're an oven, basically. The climates are getting worse during the summertime. Fires are occurring. More and more natural, phenomenal storms are occurring. Last year we had 3 storm of the centuries, okay? And I mean, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but every year it seems to me that the climate is getting worse and worse. These storms, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, typhoons. With all that going on, you also got a massive movement of tectonic plates going on as well. You have volcanic eruptions coming up. We have tsunamis occurring from earthquakes that have been going in and under the water. It's just things that we can't see are taking and doubling and tripling. At one point, we're going to have to take shelter because we're getting 6 to 8 feet of snow just off of a lake effect that occurs. So this is what I'm saying to you is the inner Ginger Zee. Now, I mean, the woman is beautiful, very intelligent, but the way she explains these things, she has a lot of climate specials out there that explains a whole lot better than I do. I'm just telling you through my eyes what my mind is trying to comprehend with all this, because a lot of us with mental health issues are seeing it day to day, and it's some of us have issues with it, and conspiracy theories are coming up a lot, especially in the scientific community, because for a long time our government did not recognize any kind of issues with climate control. Okay, we should have been doing the things that we're doing now. We should have been doing that 50 years ago, 60 years ago. Okay? Our arrogance of being the superior, badass superpower, we should have been doing a lot better 60 years ago. Okay, but that's then, this is now. Ginger Zee has a lot of CBS. No, I'm sorry, ABC. That's my bag. Anyway, Ginger's got a lot of specials out there, and the explanations. I keep going back to movies that I've watched that have given us hints about it. They basically are telling us, but we are losing out, and I believe it's too late. Now, one thing that a lot of the, climate people out there that believe the theories, they're telling us so many different ways that we could, do better. We could get all this taken care of for the other generations. They're giving us hope. Okay, but it took 100 years to get where we're at now. Okay, is that process able to stop? I mean, if you think about it, we did this through a long period of time. The Earth's climate is now telling us things are about to change radically. It's the cold fronts that are coming down from the north are hitting major warm fronts coming from the south, and this is occurring more and more to the point where Tornado Alley and Dixie Alley, which is the southern form of Tornado Alley, their areas are expanding so much that we're getting tornadoes in places like Pennsylvania or Kentucky along the ridge of mountains that protecting the inner United States. Well, that's not happening anymore. All these snowstorms that are coming down, these freezing effects right after having a 70-degree day, the following day we're getting 40-degree, 30-degree, where it's a total shock to the system of Mother Nature. Think about it. All these plants that we rely on are getting a shell shock from 70 to 30. Do you survive that? I mean, as a plant, are you able to? I mean, I'm not telling you to think like a plant. No, that's not the Ginger Zee tonight. I'm not going to, put her name to my insanity. But I got to tell you, man, if the planet is getting a complete overhaul, we're going to know it pretty soon. I don't know if it's going to be in my generation, but the next few generations are pretty much going to suffer. There's really going to be no safe spot because, down south, whether you got fires going, you've got heat, you've got drought, you've got a lot of freezing going on coming down from the north real quick, cold. And the south, they've got that weather stream off the Gulf of Mexico. They've got those issues to deal with. They got the water rising, they got the levees. There's a lot of storm issues going through. Even Florida is pretty much screwed. So with the climate and the situations that are occurring over and over and over again, we are rewriting our own demise because the time frame, we don't know. Nobody actually, or that I know of, has built a program, a program that will take all the information that we have from day one. Okay? I don't know what day one would be, but if we're able to take that, put it in a model, and figure out, like in the movie The Day After Tomorrow, if they're able to do that, put all the information on all of the weather trends, then who knows? We might be able to figure out where these tornadoes and hurricanes and all that, where they're being developed, so we have a little bit of a better warning system, what to look for, the trends, then the temperature. These are things that might help us. I don't know if it's out there. I haven't seen it or heard anything about it. We're mostly more worried about going to the moon and to Mars, maybe to try and colonize Mars. I don't know. Those are theories. They're out there. Maybe they know we're already screwed and they're going to try and, redo everything on another planet, which is quite screwed up and not something that Ginger Zee would say. Love you, Ginger. Anyway, now, with everything going on, I believe if Mother Nature is a living spirit, and I will say this again, if Mother Nature is a living spirit, by now she's pissed. And I don't know about you all, but when a woman that old is pissed, no, I'm sorry, no. Grandma, Mother Earth, I apologize. I am so sorry. Don't shoot me with the BB gun or smack me with your slipper. I love you. I do love you, Mother Earth. Anyway, that wasn't Ginger Zee either. I do not know her beliefs, and I do not think she would want to have someone like me say something like that. So, anyway, the issues that planet Earth has, I mean, if I were Mother Earth, if I had issues, they would have started 100 years ago with all this crap getting into the atmosphere and doing damage to the planet and the plants. Now, I understand that having these plants and the carbon in the air, the plants use it. They filter it out. So, why, if they had people as smart as Einstein and, I don't know, people that actually developed what we're using to destroy the planet, nuclear power. Ooh, that was a good one. Yeah, let's introduce that. Yeah, that was great to introduce to Mother Earth. She enjoys the radiation. She doesn't get enough from the sun. Hey. And, we also have those developing metals that we keep introducing into Mother Earth. Not just the nuclear waste, but, more of the toxic stuff that likes to turn oceans and water sources red. Bad algae. Sorry about that. We didn't mean to destroy your fresh water source. Nah. And you've got all your great companies that deal with all these metals to make them lighter. So, wait, we have wastewater from doing that. We can dump it into the earth. It'll absorb and it'll go away. Oops, no, now we can't use this area for 100 years. Wouldn't that piss Mother Earth off too? I bet it would. Now, if I were Mother Earth, and being mentally unstable as I am, I'm going to do that now. Mother Earth is pissed. This all started in her time frame, which is a minute. To us is 100 years. So, guess what? Mother Earth has realized what's going on. Like I said, it's only been a minute for her. She's been around for billions of years, unless you're Christian. Okay, anyway. Excuse me. Now, all this Mother Earth is dealing with, she figures out in a minute. She's pissed. She's thinking, okay, I'll toy with you. Here's a lightning storm. Boom. A fire. Oh, that took out what? 1,000, 2,000 acres? Okay. Houses? Oh, I'm sorry. That's okay. You'll relocate. Boom. We have a freezing front coming down where you have, oh, what, 6, 8 feet of snow? Let's see if you can survive that one for a little while. Whoa, wait, from the south, let's go ahead and bring out 3 hurricanes, one after the other. That's right, let's wipe out a few more homes. Let me get them to notice that I am a little pissed. Mother Earth has her ways, and we're noticing them now. Our climate is changing for the worse. We are losing ground on protecting the planet that we need. I mean, come on, people. I don't really want to live on Mars, and I don't have enough money to buy a rocket to get there. And I don't have enough money to, live on Mars because I would have to get I can make a space station. Dude, I could be a Mars pirate. Whoa. No. They're going to start everything from the moon because it's able to project towards Mars easier, less fuel consumption. So the space station they're going to be putting on the moon, dude, I could put a little tiny shack on the side and be a moon criminal. Dun 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 dun. No, I could be a moon pirate. Hop over to where they're shooting the rockets off of and the people live at. Become a space pirate. That would be so cool. Anyways, now, none of us really have the ability to get off this planet. So we're going to have to try and fix it the best way we know how. And right now, we don't know how. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, hey, we shot a rocket into space to see if we can make asteroids and comets lose direction towards us. Okay? Now, if you're going to be doing that, why can't we take some of that knowledge and experience and try and figure out a way to save the planet for our next generations to come? But that's cool, man. If you want to, play pong with comets, okay. That just means that somebody got a hard-on for the movie Armageddon. I get it. I would be too, because it was a good movie, But I really don't want us to send Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis up into space, man. I mean, come on. They're icons. America needs them. So just send the Republicans up. Yeah, one by one. They got enough bullshit in them that will knock anything out of trajectory. So, but anyways, because our government didn't recognize the climate issues and didn't put anything forward about it 50 years ago, 60 years ago, when it could have mattered. Like I said before, what we're doing now, we should have done 60 years ago. So, it's a done deal. Now, if by any chance Ginger Zee is still here, she would tell you there's always hope. Okay? We do have some of the smartest people in the world educated from the United States. And let's try and figure out all these, summits they're having, and they're starting to do what they're doing. And let's keep some of these politicians that really don't understand what climate control is, because they're too worried about avoiding criminal prosecution. Yeah, even though he's trying to become president again, This idiot destroyed so much while he was in office when it came to the climate control and to the research that we needed to start doing. He pushed us away from countries that are trying their best to do the same thing, and they're winning. Some of these countries in Europe are doing their best, and we can't follow suit. We are one of the most powerful countries in the world. We can say whatever the hell we want. All we have to do is beat the hell out of Russia, get them out of our elections, and let the real American people who actually care get involved. Climate control is here. We're screwed. FTW, fuck the world. We're done. But if we can give them hope, if we can give them a foundation, a track, then maybe they have a chance of turning this around or building something that will help them get through what's going on. All right. So this is Doobie Snacks with Ginger Zee at my side, inside, however. And by the way, she is wearing her black leather with a nice light purple blouse. Very classy. But she's wearing comfortable shoes. So I have to give her that. So we're out of here. Peace out. Let the world be. Love y'all. All right.